Hello everyone, it's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland reviewer, and I'm here to review Stronger by Stress. And this is a new documentary focusing on how to live a more healthier life and get in better shape through holistic means. And this is from director Andzei Matsukevits, and this focuses on basically it takes the approach that modern medicine and traditional forms of medicine aren't taking into account the level of stress that people are going through and finding new holistic ways to get into better shape and live a healthier life. And it's a bunch of biohackers who are basically just... The interesting thing is, like, this film is just a bunch of biohackers sitting there talking at the camera and then cutting to, like, beautiful outdoors. People doing healthy things. Beautiful outdoors. Back to me talking at the camera. And that's an hour and a half of this. And basically, it's just a very preachy, here's our plan. And it's just like, I felt like after an hour and a half, I just watched an infomercial. And for this very specific way of living. And it kind of felt like I was being talked down to. And the approach that a lot of this comes, it's like, hey, you just have to... It doesn't deal with, like, the actual struggle of trying to make these healthy choices in the moment. And it kind of ignores the fact that, like, this is a struggle for people. It isn't as easy to just... There's moments where it's just like, you know, it makes sense. We're conditioned to walk into a place and, like, you smell that. It's like, oh, I want this cookie. But once you learn to just not want the cookie, and it's just like, but how? And it just basically is like, you just have to do it. And not to say that this film doesn't have a lot of important information. It gives a lot of perspective on how the body works and how, with the right conditions, the body can help create a healthier style of life. But it ignores the fact that, like, these are hard decisions, and a lot of the times it's like you just have to learn how to, like, say no to that. And once you figure out how to just do this and do that and that and that and that, then you'll have a healthier life. It's just like, no crap. I don't think the issue is that most people don't know what could possibly be the right thing. It's how you can make those decisions. And also, this film feels like it's made in a vacuum of, like, in a perfect world, you can make all these decisions. Our society and how life isn't conducive always to these very specific hour-and-a-half long steps in this specific setup and conditions. And it's just like, what are you supposed to do? Like, it just kind of feels like, okay, here's all this information, which is good and all, but then you're going to have to figure out another way to actually find that willpower to be able to do those things, because this film just basically assumes that, like, bam, once you get that willpower, this will be perfectly fine. And so, I feel like it was helpful to watch, because it gave a lot of perspective, but also not helpful, because it doesn't really give, like, the actual actions or help you realize those things. It's just basically like, here's some information, now figure it out. And it's also really preachy about what it is. And going into this documentary, it's like, basically just selling something. So, like, if you're ready to watch an hour-and-a-half advertisement, then you can watch this film. But if you don't want that, then don't really waste your time. Don't waste your 95 minutes or so watching this film. But those are my thoughts on Stronger by Stress. Let me know what you think, and let's talk some movies. But thank you as always for tuning in and supporting your Wasteland reviewer.